had one. Never had one?
Yeah, you did. Homemade one.
Oh, well, that don't count.
Hello, WiLLo Davis. How's it going? You may recall that before the 1,000-Pound Sisters series actually came out from TLC, they put out a little trailer type thing, and I reviewed it and kind of talked about my thoughts on the upcoming series.
What about Big Daddy?
Oh,
That has to go.
oh no, Big Daddy? Was that a giant stick of ground beef? I think Big Daddy does have to go. And I decided not to even bother doing like single like thoughts or reactions to the individual episodes. I was happy enough just watching it casually on my own. Plus, Zachary Michael, my friend, is doing quite a good job doing that himself, saying all it needs to be said, I'm sure. So I figured keep doing my own thing, whatever. But I was hanging out in one of Zach's live streams in the chat recently. And of all people, wouldn't you know it, Amy Slaton was there in the chat hanging out. And she had some lovely things to say to me. I didn't see all of it until after someone let me know, and I went back and I found it. But anyway, I did see her in there. I told her she's made for TV, which is true, and she said thank you. And by that, I just mean like the format for like the television series, once they have the camera, the producers, all that, they really get to see the humor in them. You know, some of their personal stuff. It can be a little hard to follow with like, you know, the camera angles and no like editing and whatnot. But you know, the great humor is still there. But like seeing it like all just kind of like edited together and formatted for a television series. There are a couple of characters, you know, they did well. But anyway, Amy basically said to me, like, thanks for not being mean in your video talking about the show. It helps to lose the weight. And that was very nice. I really appreciate that, Amy. Thank you. I mean, you guys know me. I really have to think someone is like a horrible person to be like actually being like mean on the internet. Most of the time I just kind of react to whatever I see on the screen. I'll put a little link to the first video if you want to check it out. But anyway, that inspired me to do a little kind of review so far of the series, which we're up to episode 5 at this point. So be warned, if you're not caught up, there could be some, I guess, spoilers, if you want to call it that, in here if you care. So anyway, as far as like the timeline for where the show is at, it seems like Amy is actually going to be getting the surgery, and Tammy is at least not yet. Hopefully that happens for her in the near future. I am a little concerned about the way that they kind of put it all together. Like, I'm hoping that Tammy will still get the chance to, because they recently went in for a like final weigh-in, and the Dr. Proctor, had set some goals for them. Amy did hit the goal, Tammy did not, and therefore he felt she was not ready, like not like, I guess, committed enough. Because the main point of the like goal weight loss, it seems, is just so that the doctor knows that they're serious about it, because apparently the long-term success of these things is very low. So obviously the surgeon isn't going to want to bother with like a slightly risky surgery if it's just not going to have any benefit in the end. It's just not gonna, you know, I guess like not good for the record or something. And obviously you don't want there to be complications because the patient that you worked on wasn't like ready to commit to the actual needs and like wasn't taking care of themselves. You wouldn't want that on you. So anyway, yeah, Tammy seemed very upset about the whole thing, obviously. I think she was also a little bit upset that Amy decided that she is going to go through with it. I feel like Tammy had this whole plan of them doing it together, and hopefully, you know, Amy would wait for her. But, you know, Amy's trying to, you know, improve herself and doesn't want to be held back by anything. You know, just unfortunate. But there's a couple of positive things. Tammy finally found a pool to go in and had a great time. You know, there was a struggle earlier in the season where like she didn't like the stairs of the hotel pool. Okay, whatever, understandable. She had a problem with like when they're going to get pedicures. There's a little set of stairs, a little like narrow set of stairs things she didn't want to
She didn't want to go up those steps to the pedicure thing. But it looks like she's getting out of her comfort zone at least a little bit. So that's very nice to see. Amy had a nice wedding. She was already married, but she wanted the whole ceremony and all that. That was very sweet. Her own little idea of a dream wedding. They had, I guess they went to like a venue or like the place to like try food and stuff, and she was all bachelorette partied up with like a bride chalice and stuff, and they're like doing like a wine tasting or something, and she insisted that the poor server there pour it into her like plastic chalice to try the wine. She drank it through a straw. But honestly, who could complain? It was her day. If that's what she needs for her dream wedding, then you know, you go get it. For the bachelorette party, they hired a, we'll call it a budget stripper, I guess. I mean, the poor guy probably wasn't allowed to play any copyrighted music if he has some kind of routine or something, so I'm sure that was part of the awkwardness there. The actual wedding ceremony was quite adorable. I loved Lil Bit, their dog, in the little dress being the ring bearer. The whole thing was a little, but you know, who are we to judge someone else's wedding? It had a wonderful charm to it, I'll say that. I was very upset by their mom not being able to make it to the wedding ceremony. Amy also seemed very upset by that. I mean, we don't know the whole situation with that, so, you know, I don't want to go passing too much judgment. But it was just sad to see. I guess they do have some family things to work out. And hey, there's, I guess, plenty of this season left. We're only 5 episodes in. I don't know how many more they're going with, but they're basically leaving it off with, like, it's like time for the surgery almost, right? They're showing, like, little clips of her getting all, like, set up for that. I guess Tammy's moving out at some point. Like, she's getting her own little place like next door. There'll be plenty of conflict. They definitely always save a little bit of conflict for every episode in these types of things, whether it's completely true or not. I know, like, there's like the whole dynamic between Amy and Tammy where, like, you know, there's like the fighting and the snapping and whatever else, but like some of that I feel like they really highlight it on the show and like make things look a certain way. It's all stuff you have to keep in mind. They are making a reality TV show out of it. It's, you know, sometimes they have to say things they don't really want to say, but the show's like, come on, make it happen. Or, you know, they'll like push certain subjects. But I do like the overall positive vibe of the show. I'm not much for conflict or struggle on like anything I watch. So that's nice. And but yeah, I'm looking forward to this continuing. I know I'm sure the post-surgery is going to be a lot of it's going to be tough, so I'm sure they're going to be covering some of that. Hopefully some of the continued weight loss they show on there. I saw something that it's only going to be 1 season. Unfortunate, but hopefully that means it's just a very detailed and robust season and there's plenty left, but I suppose we will see. I don't know, this is just more interesting to me than like most episodes of like 600 Pound Life or something, because they're entertaining people. That's like what it comes down to, is like it's not as fun to watch people going on these journeys if they're just like moping about, like couldn't care less if the camera's on them or not. I know obviously they're not entertainers or anything. They're not there to dance for us as we watch, but see, the Slatons being YouTubers, they just have that dynamic, and it's very entertaining to see. So that's why this is such an interesting show to me. But anyway, what do you guys think? Are you as invested in this whole thing as I am? Has anyone been keeping tabs on their YouTube channels? Any little updates from them there? Let us discuss. And hey, if you like the video, please consider giving it a like. It helps, you know, with the reach, the outreach. It gets it out to more people. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. Okay, and other than that, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at WiLLo Davis Rocks, and I'll see you next time. WiLLo Davis, out.